Oklahoma residents are putting up a fight against a proposed turnpike route. A recent Russian attack causes outrage within NATO, and strong winds puts Oklahoma in another fire threat. OU Nightly starts now. Hello, thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Dana Searles.
And I'm Bella Roddy. Tonight we begin with a local controversy over the construction of a new toll road here in Norman. The plans for the new turnpike are causing upheaval among Norman citizens. OU Nightly's Kolby Terrell has the story from Interstate 35.
Here on I-35, it is almost the height of rush hour, which is exactly why the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority wants to add a new route. But residents are voicing strong opposition to the current project.
Is it worth 25 minutes of an extra time?
Last night's town hall over Access Oklahoma's plans for a Norman Turnpike pitted residents against engineers on the project from Poe and Associates.
We want to listen to you. We want to do the best we can to make it the best alignment that is possible.
And Ward 5 City Council member Richard Tortorello had a hard time keeping the peace.
All right, so that's why I put this together. We cannot have a conversation if we're yelling out right now. You will have your chance to ask those questions.
Hundreds of Norman citizens expressed concerns of losing their homes and their way of life.
And even if it doesn't take our homes, you got the damn turnpike going with all the noise.
A representative from the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority was slated to attend the town hall, but canceled last minute. The OTA is in charge of the project, and many who turned out expressed disappointment at their absence. The turnpike will reach from I-35 in Purcell all the way to the Kickapoo Turnpike in Oklahoma County.
One of the big thing is to alleviate the congestion and the accidents on Interstate 35 and allow an alternative route, because there are a lot of people that travel I-35 that frankly don't stop in Moore or Norman.
But based on reactions from the town hall, the OTA and Poe and Associates have their work cut out for them to gain public support.
The best case scenario is this turnpike gets stopped.
Dale, representatives from both Poe and Associates as well as the Oklahoma Turnpike say that this project could take up to 15 years to complete, which means that in the meantime there's plenty of chances for Norman residents to call and express their concerns over the current route. Reporting live, I'm Kolby Terrell, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kolby. Overnight, Russian forces attacked Europe's largest nuclear plant, according to Ukrainian officials. The facility remains under Russian control, but there doesn't appear to be any radioactive leakage. And as Russian airstrikes continue, the head of NATO accuses Russia of using widely banned cluster bombs.
You see, it's heinous. It's a brutality. It's killing of civilians we haven't seen since the Second World War in Europe.
President Vladimir Putin told Germany's leader he has agreed to a third round of talks between Russia and Ukraine. That meeting is scheduled for this weekend.
And today, the Oklahoma State Department of Health reported 1,113 new cases, bringing the total number of active cases to over 3,000. Total deaths have risen to 14,835.
And strong winds have moved Oklahoma into a red flag fire warning.
Peyton Galyean is in the studio to tell us what that means and what Oklahomans need to watch out for.
Yeah, that's right. The wind is sweeping down the plains. Right now, winds in Norman 18 miles an hour, Woodward 23 miles an hour, which is why we are in that red flag warning here in central and western Oklahoma. These southerly winds bringing us warmer temperatures, but with the dry conditions we have, it's perfect fire weather for this very dry state of Oklahoma, which is why coming up in Maine weather, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the fire warning, when the rain will return, and the severe threat on Sunday.
Thanks, Peyton. If you are needing a caffeine kick to start your weekend, then there is a festival in Norman calling your name. Cleveland County Habitat for Humanity is hosting Common Grounds Coffee Festival tomorrow. They're partnering with local businesses to provide the coffee at the fairgrounds. Money raised will go to building houses for families who have struggled throughout the pandemic, but Habitat says the attention will be great too.
Where I want to be is if, let's say, 500 people know more about Habitat for Humanity and the work we're doing here in Cleveland County by the end of the festival, we will have done so much more than just the monetary fundraising.
The festival begins tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the Cleveland County Fairgrounds and will go until 5 p.m.
And the cost of having your pet spayed or neutered can be pricey, especially for college student pet owners. Abby Bennett tells us how you can get this service for free and the benefits that come with it.
Owning an animal comes with many costs, but Best Friends of Pets is taking one of those costs away for you. Kim Schlittler urges pet parents to get your animal spayed or neutered.
If there's no reason for a pet to have puppies or kittens, we hope they'll get them spayed or neutered. There's a huge pet overpopulation problem still in this state and in this area, and we're trying our best to reduce that problem.
The price is one thing, but there are also several benefits for animals when getting spayed or neutered.
I don't think people really understand all the benefits of spaying and neutering. Obviously, they know hey, I don't want a litter of puppy or kittens, but it also helps health-wise as far as reducing the risk of cancers, mammary and testicular cancer.
But for some college student pet parents, the benefits helped make their decision easier, even though they pocketed lots of money.
Ashley, my girlfriend, was talking to someone, and they had a German Shepherd who was 3 years old, and she had breast cancer, but she ended up having puppies, which that would have been nice to have, but we definitely want her to be more safe and healthy than anything, so we decided to get her spaded.
3 Norman vet clinics partnered with Best Friends of Pets to offer zero cost for those who qualify and are hoping to keep the price for free permanently. Abby Bennett, OU Nightly.
Any pet owners interested in getting their pet spayed or neutered can visit bestfriendsofpets.org for information on their program.
And Vice President Kamala Harris could be heading to Poland and Romania soon in support of Ukraine and NATO allies. We'll tell you what started this conversation of the possible trip.
And largest student-led philanthropy is hosting their annual dance marathon. Find out more about this event coming up.
Vice President Kamala Harris is making a trip to Poland and Romania after reports of a phone call with their prime ministers. Dacoda McDowell-Wahpekeche has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world.
Thanks, Dana. Vice President Kamala Harris is going to Poland and Romania next week to show support to Ukraine and NATO allies. She'll be in Warsaw, Poland, and Bucharest, Romania. This trip comes after she met with U.S. allies, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, at the Munich Security Conference February 18th. Since the beginning of Russia's invasion, the United States and its allies have aided Ukraine. An independently owned newspaper in Russia is facing threats after reporting on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In a tweet this morning, the Novaya Gazeta says they are removing those articles. They say they were being threatened with criminal prosecution if they, quote, disseminate information about hostilities that differs from Defense Ministry press releases. The paper's editor-in-chief, Dmitry Muratov, was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize last year. Google announced today they will no longer be advertising in Russia. The company released a statement saying it's due to the circumstances taking place right now. Twitter made a move similar to this last week, suspending advertising in both Russia and Ukraine. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, has not made a decision whether or not they will take their advertisements out of Russia. And the White House is now assessing the impact of cutting off imports of Russian oil. Bella, back to you.
Thanks, Dacoda. The University of Oklahoma's annual dance marathon will be held tomorrow. This student-led organization raises funds and awareness for local sick and injured kids. Students and organizations campus-wide participate to raise money for the Oklahoma City Children's Hospital. Over the years, OUDM has raised over $7 million for the Children's Hospital, and all that money goes towards research, education, and clinical care.
So we're kind of trying to bring that intimacy and welcoming environment that we had last year with the same fun and upbeat and hectic environment that we've had in years past.
The event will take place tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and you can register by going to oudm.org.
And if you're feeling lucky, coming up, we'll tell you a fun way to get your exercise in this weekend.
And it looks like heavy storms are coming our way along with another cold front. Peyton, what can we look out for here in Norman?
Well, right now temperatures across the area are very enjoyable, but big changes are on the way. I'll break it down for you right after the break. Back to OU Nightly, taking a look at the Oklahoma City skyline cam. The clouds are slowly moving out of the area. Temperatures 73 degrees, partly cloudy skies. And across the rest of the metro, we do have temperatures in the upper 70s as well as the rest of the state of Oklahoma. Another above average day for this time of year. And that is partly why we have this fire threat for central and western Oklahoma because of the dry, warm air we have. It will last into tomorrow. Again, central and western Oklahoma. The red flag warning does expire tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And the winds, they're not slowing down. We've climbed up to 17 here in Norman, still 28 in Woodward, 28 in Enid. You can see strong winds out of the south, warm temperatures throughout the area, and this drought. Eastern Oklahoma, they're doing pretty well, but here in Norman, extreme severe in Oklahoma City and exceptional out in that panhandle. But going into next week, we aren't going to feel like spring break, even though that is right around the corner. Per the Climate Prediction Center outlook, we are going to be very below average by this blue shaded region. That is due to a cold front coming through the area Sunday that is going to leave us with a severe threat of weather here in southeastern Oklahoma. To help time that out for you, here in Norman, we can see some storms, although we aren't in the risk. You can see Sunday evening, we do have that line of storms beginning to form up the I-44 corridor, and it's going to move throughout eastern Oklahoma into early Monday morning. So as you head out to your classes Monday morning, you want to keep that in mind. Saturday, another warm day, 77 degrees. Sunday, that cold front does come through, 52. And going into the rest of your week, we do drop 47 Monday, 50 on Tuesday, 54 on Wednesday. Another warm, cool week ahead. Not feeling much like spring. Dana and Bella.
Thanks, Peyton. If you're looking to get in the St. Patrick's Day spirit early, then head out to the Shamrock Off-Road 5K and 1 Mile Fun Run.
The event is part of a 4-race series put together by the City of Norman tomorrow at Ruby Grant Park.
Participants are encouraged to dress up, bring their dog, and you maybe could even see a leprechaun appearance.
The 1 Mile Fun Run is free for everyone, and registration will stay open until the race begins at 1 p.m.
Now that's it from us, but I don't know about you, Bella. I'm probably not going to run a 5K this weekend, so we're going to run it on over to Big Friday Sports.
Madeline Hunter is here to fill us in on all things basketball. Madeline, what can we look forward to during our own March Madness?
That's right, guys. Today on Big Friday Sports, we've got a lot of basketball to talk, but before we get to that, one of the most anticipated matchups of the season is tonight in the LNC. Stick around to hear more on who Women's Gym will be competing against. Hello and welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Madeline Hunter.
And I'm Parker Abels. We have a lot of great news from around the state, so let's get right into it. We have a top 2 matchup tonight in the Lloyd Noble Center as the number 2 OU women's gymnastic team takes on the number 1 Michigan Wolverines.
The Sooners are coming off a loss against number 3 Florida, but they are ready to bring the heat tonight. The ladies' final home meet of the season starts at 7:45 p.m. and you won't want to miss it. The OU women's basketball team will wrap up the regular season this Saturday when it hosts the Kansas Jayhawks. The Lady Sooners will have the opportunity to lock in the number 3 seed going into next week's Big 12 championship.
Last time the two teams met, the Sooners pulled off a 15-point comeback, knocking off Kansas 82-68. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. at the Lloyd Noble Center. And going from college to high school basketball, a Norman championship team has endured multiple injuries over the season. OU Nightly's Shannon Ehrhardt is live at Norman High to tell us how the team has persevered.
Yeah, guys, it's been a crazy season for the Norman High girls basketball team under new head coach Frankie Parks. And his two daughters on the team endured season-crippling injuries that felt like a fever dream to all of Norman. It takes about 3 seconds to face one of the most gruesome injuries in sports. And 304 days to heal.
When Keely did it initially, we were, pretty distraught by it.
My dad called me before, when I was on my way to the game, and he was like, yeah, Keely hurt her knee, we think it's her ACL. And
2 weeks later, we are in Dallas playing pretty competitive game, and
I ended up tearing mine, so it was definitely wild.
So Michaela and Keely Parks had to kiss their full season goodbye.
Watching this season has been one of the hardest things because I love school ball, just like the community and everybody and the students that come to the game. It's definitely been a struggle, but you just got to get through it.
Really looking forward to playing the whole year and even this summer. But
first regular season game we had, I kind of just went to the bench and I just had a couple tears fall, and it's definitely hard to sit there and watch and know that you can make an impact on your team out there and see what you could do to go in and step in to make the game better.
304 days later, which was the biggest game of the season, the Park sisters crossed the line of adversity.
It didn't even feel real, to be honest, because it was crosstown clash.
Whenever we checked in, the crowd went crazy, and it definitely gave me chills. It was something definitely to remember.
To see them step on the court together, it just kind of fills your heart a little bit as dad to see your girls back out there and competing at a high level.
Bull sisters are back to their normal selves as they just won regionals on Tuesday. Now, they did lose to Norman North last night, but they're not done yet. The team has a second chance at a state bid in Noble tomorrow at 1:30. Reporting live from Norman High, Shannon Ehrhardt, OU Nightly Sports.
Thanks, Shannon. The Sooners are back in action, putting their 2-game win streak on the line tomorrow as they travel to Manhattan to take on the Kansas State Wildcats. OU is coming off a big 13-point win over West Virginia on Tuesday and is looking to continue their streak.
A win will help the Sooners' case to make the NCAA tournament with the help of a couple Big 12 tourney wins as well. Tip-off is at 3 p.m. While we're on basketball, Parker, I hear the high school basketball playoffs are happening right now.
That's right, Madeline, and I actually got a chance to sit down with one of the coaches. Jenks High School, right outside of Tulsa, is historically known for football, but Clay Martin has turned them into a dual threat, and he might have something else up his sleeve.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. That is a completed catch. Denver will be charged one timeout.
Clay Martin, the head coach for the Jenks Trojans basketball team, is known around the state as a storied coach for the Trojans. But around the country, he's known for something else. Martin is also a head NFL referee. While both jobs are a dream come true, it can be tough to balance both.
I worked a game this year where a Monday night game, and had to get up because of where the game was on the West Coast, and took an early flight and literally landed and went home and showered and then came up here to catch the bus to leave. And so trying to get myself mentally ready, I think, is the challenge, because I am drained from working a football game. I'm drained from the travel just a little bit. And so, but what I remind myself often of is these kids, that's cool and all, but they want me ready to go.
When Martin isn't reffing, it's not just all basketball. He has to prepare for his next NFL game.
We have to attack that just like I would anything else we're doing, even like a basketball game. We've got to study the game that we had before. What can we learn from that? Where could we have been better? And then also, as we take on whoever we're working that week, how do we prepare for them? Where do we think we need to be ready?
And along with that, he has to make sure he can fill the stands at the Frank Harold Fieldhouse by not only preparing his players for a basketball game, but for life in the classroom as well.
I think for me, it's not just basketball, it's kids. We talk to our young men a lot about just being the type of person that people want to root for. Are you the guy that's acting the right way in the hallway and in the cafeteria and with your teachers and fellow classmates? And so, yes, it's basketball for us, but we want our students to be proud of our young men who are working to win.
Luckily for Coach Martin, the NFL season is over, so the upcoming high school basketball playoffs will have his full attention. The OSSA playoffs are currently going on, with areas starting tonight and the state tournament being March 10th through 12th. Coming up on Big Friday Sports, the wrestling team has a big weekend ahead.
And spring practice is right around the corner. Stay tuned as Big Friday Sports continues. Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. With Pro Day next weekend, spring practice starting up on March 22nd, the Sooners are getting back into their stride. Yesterday, several OU coaches had a press conference to preview the upcoming season and give an update on where the program is at under new coach Brent Venables. The coaches emphasized the defense will be key in the upcoming season. The Big 12 Wrestling Championship is taking place Saturday and Sunday at the BOK Center in Tulsa. The 24th ranked Sooners are bringing the 9-seeded wrestlers to Tulsa as they look to defend their Big 12 title.
OU's looking to secure their 4th Big 12 title, and the matches are available to watch on ESPN+. Now over to the NBA, Grizzlies guard John Morant has been tearing up the league, including this dunk. Check this out. Anderson gets the steal, Ja picks it up, tosses it over to Anderson, who lobs it up to Ja and slams it home with the left over Marcus Smart, former Cowboy. Unbelievable dunk. This slam adds Morant to Morant's long list of dunks, and I'm hoping to see him in the dunk contest.
Oh yeah, after last year's dunk contest, Morant could definitely come in and steal the show. But basketball isn't the first thing on my mind. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna head to the LNC to watch women's gym dominate.
Oh, I'll be there for sure. Well, that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Parker Abels.
And I'm Madeline Hunter. Good night.